Okay, I'm
Also,
recording.
It hit West Tunbridge first. You should have called me, Mike, and told me it was coming.
I was gonna, but I was trying to dial into Zoom here. Didn't rain very long here.
No. So Gary's milking?
Oh, yeah, or something. I guess
Yeah.
milking.
He said he had to milk.
Because Mike's on vacation.
And he spoke to Tavian. He said he didn't tell me what Tavian expressed about the alcohol ordinance, but maybe he told one of you. I don't know.
Yeah, I talked to him this afternoon.
What did he say, Mike?
Well, I talked to. Are we open?
Someone
Jillian?
has to bring the meeting. I don't know. One of you has to bring the meeting to order.
Let's bring the meeting to order.
Okay. It's recording.
Whatever time it is. 6:09. I talked to Rodney the end of last week. Everything was going pretty good, I guess. I didn't talk to them today, but they're over here cleaning ditches, so I guess things right. So that's a road update.
Have they used the new grader?
Yes, he said that's working good. Promise really is it. So I told him to keep it moving. And he said he was going to try to, depending on the weather. I guess that's all I got.
I have a thing. We applied for a grant from the state, a Better Back Roads grant for Falls Hill Road that we got, and there's a grant agreement that needs to be signed. So if the two of you could motion to approve, or to I guess approve it and have Gary sign it, that would be great. I just got it today, so it's the standard, typical state agreement. Yeah.
I make a motion that we accept the grant. Is that what we're doing, accepting it?
Or approving the grant agreement and agree that.
Okay, I make a move we approve the grant agreement.
I second that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any discussion? Where's the chair?
Jillian's not discussing anything.
I'm trying to get this one moving.
Okay. Gary talked to...
All in favor? Do we have to vote, Jillian?
Oh, all in favor. I think we kind of did, didn't we? All right.
I guess if you make the motion, you approve of it.
I think it's sort of redundant if there's only...
I don't know. I wonder what Robert's rules say about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Gary talked to Tavian, and I think we want to make a couple more changes on this draft, and maybe do it next meeting. But Tavian didn't want us to put anything in about non-prescribed regulated drugs, and I don't know why. But the thing Gary and I both noticed was in the writing, it said possession under the section 2 possession. It says use of alcoholic properties on any property owned or insured by the town of Tunbridge. Then there was accepting town hall building. I think we ought to delete that. And then it says except by special permit. And Gary was thinking that we should have some kind of permit for $20 or $30 or something. That, you know, if somebody had a wedding at the town hall or something, and they were bringing their own booze, I don't know. He just thought we ought to have something that we could issue a permit for X amount of dollars. But I don't know, because this says it's got to be only to a licensed caterer. So,
And I didn't
anyways,
understand that. That's what.
Yes, I understand, Julian.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, maybe we ought to table this for tonight, and I'll make what I think might need to be changed, and I'll mail it over to Jillian or take it over and drop it off or something, and Gary can make his changes and John can make his changes, and we'll do it again next time.
So Jillian, you didn't talk with Tavian about it?
No, by the time he got back to me, it was the end of my work week, and I don't have time right now to talk about it. I said, could you pass your thoughts over via email? And he said, no, we need to talk on the phone. So I didn't have time for a phone call. But
he just said, and I don't understand, but he thought we ought to get rid of the non-prescribed drug thing, and I don't understand that. But and Gary didn't seem to either. But
maybe it just sort of falls under a different, either a state statute or a different type of ordinance if we're mostly dealing with alcohol.
Well, I guess what Tavian seemed to be worried about was if, and I don't see what difference it make, but if somebody walked into the town hall after eating 6 aspirins, you know, but that's not gonna.
Well, those aren't prescription drugs, though.
That's what it says, non-prescribed regulated drugs. Oh, they're not regulated.
Regulated?
Yeah, aspirin's not regulated, so.
Right. It's like if they took a 6 Claritin D or something.
Yeah.
You know your regulated drugs?
I have an allergy person in my household, so I do.
We try not to regulate drugs over here.
You know, I know
West Town.
Just for our wedding business, you know, the two things we either do, we get the wedding couple has to have a licensed bartender, or it's BYOB. You just don't want that in between where you have, you know, a non-professional serving people just as the highest liability. But I can see why you wouldn't really want BYOB necessarily to Tunbridge properties, given that, you know, you're assuming people are going to, I guess, be responsible, but it certainly raises the liability for Tunbridge.
Yeah, I think that you'd have to have some permit thing, but if the rec committee got a permit and then everybody got greased and walked around on the road and gave people a hard time, then you know, what do you fall back on? I mean, how do you, if you gave them a permit to do it, then what's your liability?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it may be opening a can of worms. I mean, I can see why birthday parties or weddings or the anniversaries, those sort of thing at the town hall, you know, I don't even know if they've been BYOB, but certainly what's traditionally been happening at the rec field is essentially BYOB.
Right.
Well, that's another question for Davey, maybe.
Yeah. So let's review this again. And try to get something done up for next time.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda is reappointing Brenda Field as the town fire warden and reappointing Simon Bradford as the deputy town deputy fire warden for the state.
So moved.
I make a motion we reappoint Brenda Fields as fire warden and Simon Bradford as deputy fire warden for the state.
Okay, great.
I second that.
I need Gary to come in and sign those, but I will get in touch with him about that.
As far as you know, Jillian, that both Brenda and Simon are willing to continue on.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, I guess. Okay. I didn't check, but I got an email from a state forester kind of putting a, what do you call it? Telling me to do this ASAP or get that done ASAP. So anyways. The next thing on the agenda was discussing the AA position. Because the primary is happening tomorrow, I'm feeling like I need a lot of rest and a break before tomorrow. So I'm okay not discussing that tonight, unless any of you had pressing thoughts.
The only thought I got is, have you got anyone in mind that would want to do that?
I do have one person in mind. I don't want to say their name out loud. I don't want them to, they don't know that I have them in mind yet. I don't want them to happen to hear this before I say it.
Okay.
I'm going to see that person soon though. So I'll ask if they'd be interested. Okay. Gary told me to do that.
Okay. Okay.
But there's only one person I have in mind.
We'll discuss it next meeting.
Okay.
Jillian, on your list of things you would continue doing, it looked like what is it called? The DER for the commercial driver's licenses. You had it on both.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
So clearly I'm waffling on that one, I guess. That one is a responsibility that I feel like could go either way. It would be nice to have it off my plate, but it also, it's something that really doesn't add that much time to either position. It's energetically, it's like a lot to remember on top of what I already have to remember. Oh, it looks like someone wants to join the meeting.
What was this thing it says Becky suggested making road crew assistant duties stipended?
Yeah.
Do we have a road crew assistant?
Well, that was Becky's idea because her and I were talking about this. And I said, the road crew stuff doesn't feel like a big deal to me. It doesn't feel like it takes up that much brain power. So if I were to remain town clerk and say you were going to fill the AA position, so I would no longer be considered AA, but I held on to those responsibilities, then if I left town clerk and the next town clerk was like, I'm not doing that road crew stuff, that's not part of the job description, Becky suggested that you could combine, if you don't want to hire an AA to do that stuff in addition to the list I made, then you could make that road crew stuff sort of a stipended position that the town clerk or the treasurer or the AA or whoever else, or just like a random person in town could decide they wanted to take on. And it would be a stipended position rather than hourly. So like in theory, the next budgeting cycle, I'm town clerk and I say, I'm willing to take on the road assistant stipended position. It would just be a stipend of, I don't even know how much for the year. That was Becky's idea. I'm not sure I really have an opinion on it either way, but she just thought it would make it easier for down the road when the next town clerk doesn't want to be the road assistant and all of a sudden the AA position no longer encompasses that. How do we get someone to keep doing that work?
Were those most of the duties that you wanted to carry on with? Yeah.
And I don't really want to bail on Rodney. I think he is feeling good and happy that I'm working with him. So, and I feel like I can handle it. The road stuff, it does not, like I said, it doesn't really feel like it takes up that much brain power. But if you guys were like, well, we don't want to split up those duties from the AA position, that's obviously up to you. Yeah.
And how many ballpark hours a week do you think that would be?
The list that I sent you, or the list I sent you plus the road stuff?
No, just that road assistant position. You know, if you just did that.
Max 5, like max, absolute max.
Okay, because it may have to do with, you know, whoever we interview to fill in this, you know, point something. It's like a 0.8 AA.
Yeah.
And how much or how little they want to do. You know, if someone's like, I can do 5 hours a week, then it might fit perfectly.
Right.
If they're like, I'm happy doing everything, then, you know.
I would say if it was, I would say the list that I sent you of the stuff I'd like to take off my plate, I think that would be about 4 to 6 hours a week. And then like most of the time, the road crew stuff would be 2 hours a week, you know, on top of that. But sometimes, I mean, like if there's a FEMA disaster, then there might be a few weeks where they want to just get the whole thing done or whatever, you know, it might vary, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and certainly some institutional knowledge probably is important too.
Yeah, which I really didn't have when I started doing it. So I mean, I've learned a lot, and I'd be able to obviously help anyone who was taking over anything. But I learned everything from scratch. I didn't really know what I was getting into when you guys hired me. So.
Yeah, but we knew you could do it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Who's joined the meeting?
Hi, this is Anna Deckard. Sorry, I just realized that my account is under a friend's name. I just wanted to check in at some point about the driveway that I brought up at the last meeting on Spring Road, but I don't know if this is an appropriate time or later.
Mike, did you have a chance to look at the driveway?
No, I did not. I apologize. I will try to get right over there and look at it in the next couple days.
Is it possible, I don't know the exact kind of time limit, but Josh does have a quote from GMP, and so he needs to start work on that so that they can come in and move the utility pole sooner rather than later. So I don't know if there's a way to get an update before the next select board meeting.
Anna, from it's a cricket.
Go ahead, John.
It's very loud cricket. And from what I saw, they were, if you come through the covered bridge, say, go left, start up the Spring Road, they were 2 grade stakes soon after mix, and then a bunch of grade stakes further up that looked like, you know, more of a winding potential driveway. So
yeah, I think there are 2 stakes that mark the end of the culvert at the kind of existing driveway, which has never been used as a driveway. And that's the very steep entry point that Josh has been using right now, but I think is not realistic and also probably not legal to have that grade coming on to Spring Road. So then there's a stone foundation of some old house, and so the stakes with the electrical tape on the top that kind of wind a little bit higher up on Spring Road, and we would dig that down so that it's an appropriate grade coming onto Spring Road. That's where it would go.
So would it be a hard turn then to, if you're coming up the Spring Road, to make that right turn?
It would be, yes. I mean, it wouldn't be a subtle turn, I guess, but it would, I think Josh is familiar with the kind of regulations in terms of any requirements for putting in a driveway. And so he would be sure that that's, you know, that those are taken into account. I don't know that it would be a harder turn than other existing driveways. Sorry, it's loud. I'm on the library porch using free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no, from what I saw, I mean, it seemed fine to me.
It would be a more subtle turn right. I mean, right now you can't really get onto that driveway if you're coming up Spring Road. You kind of either have to back into it or do a little turnaround at the fairgrounds. So yeah, the goal is to put in something that you're able to actually drive up onto.
Yeah, let me run
So
down.
when's your deadline?
I don't know. He's got a couple weeks still, but he needs to bring the backhoe down and actually, you know, start clearing that out so that they can then get their truck in. And the deadline is for them to be doing that work. So it's just a matter of how many days he needs to squish that into. So I guess as soon as possible would be his preference.
Mike, do you want to, should we approve the moving of the driveway pending your approval and Rodney's approval? Because I know Rodney passed it over to us.
Yeah. I was just thinking maybe I'll take a run down there. Maybe I'll give Rodney a jingle and have him meet me there or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Rodney had raised, I think there's enough depth for Josh to remove enough material to make it have an appropriate grade. And then right behind that, it's pretty solid ledge. So he's not, we're not really concerned that then that would cause any risk to the road below in terms of other material giving way. So it's where he has it marked is something that he's pretty confident he could make that into an appropriate and legal driveway.
Okay, I'll run over and look at it, and then I'll get a hold of Rodney, and then we'll let you know.
Do we have to make a motion? Or if Rodney's fine with it?
Well, I think we just, a regular driveway permit, we just sign off, don't we? If if Rodney approves of it.
Yeah, not even. I think just Rodney's really the
Okay.
guy. He's the judge.
Okay. Well, I'll get a hold of him and meet him over there or something.
How does that sound, Anna?
Sounds good. And then I'll tell Josh to maybe check in with Rodney in a few days.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or give. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Okay.
What's next?
Just orders and warrants.
Did we get any letters?
They're never sent to me, so I don't know.
Oh,
Did we
I didn't.
get any what?
Orders.
Oh, that's completely my fault. I didn't tell Becky that we had or if I did, I probably didn't say it loud enough. I don't think I told Becky that we had scheduled.
Nice. Okay. Well, have them send them to us then when she gets around, and then John and I can call Gary up. If we approve of them, he can go down and sign them. Is that legal?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You could hold, I don't know, we could look into what constitutes, or what you can call, what am I trying to say? The reasons you can call an emergency meeting, and then you could potentially, if you're all there tomorrow night, oh, John, you can't be there, can you? Because you're a candidate. Or can you be during the primary?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't be counting my own votes, but.
Okay, well, I was thinking, but actually, Mike, you and Gary potentially could call an emergency meeting tomorrow night after we're done with the tabulator and the election and everything. And if you both get a chance to, I bet Becky always sends them to you on Tuesday, right? So I bet she will have sent them by then.
Right. Do we have to warn that or something?
Well, if it's an emergency meeting, no, but I need to,
Okay.
I honestly, I don't know when I'm going to have time to check.
Yeah.
I'll have time to check them right now if I Google it quickly.
Or we could do it next Tuesday or Monday, whenever.
That's true. Yeah, just like a week late. Yeah, that's true.
Because the road crew paid anyways, right?
Yeah, everyone will get
Well,
paid. It's just bills.
Right.
If an emergency meeting of the select board is required on a very short notice, every possible effort shall be made to notify the media.
So maybe next week.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
it's not really
it doesn't have to be emergency, just to do orders.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I should have communicated better with Becky. But minutes are ready for approval or disapproval.
The only thing I had, the first paragraph there, it says a new grader arrived today. It should have gone off without a hitch. I didn't quite understand that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I
I just scratched out the gone off without a hitch part.
What'd you say?
He's going to scratch out the gone off without a hitch part.
Okay. You can do that.
It says it could. I'd just get rid of that.
Sure, I will get rid of it.
There were just a couple of other things that I can't remember now, except the only really memorable one was, it said on the tree warden discussion, it said the TW statues are going to be updated. The great statue of Jim Ludwig is
That's awesome.
in need of improvement.
You sure you want to change that? Okay, my computer's being slow, but I will change that. Oh yeah. Statutes. Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. I'll look at it again, but they were just a couple words here and there.
Okay.
But pending those changes, I move to approve the minutes.
I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. Then I move we adjourn.
I second that.
And Jillian can go to bed.
So what's happening?